In this video, we're going to be talking about a significant cold front that's going to bring in below freezing temperatures as far as the deep south, as well watching possibly well below freezing temperatures getting into the teens and even single digits across the northeast, which will make a potential massive nor'easter likely as we get into the first days of April, and we're looking at areas that possibly get over a foot of snow. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about throughout this video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the forecast. But before we actually get into the actual forecast, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video here, specifically if you live in the Northeast. But before we actually continue in, I would recommend you guys subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the like button if you really enjoyed this forecast so I can continue to do them. And as well, if you want to get notified as soon as I do videos, specifically with YouTube's notification problem, I would recommend hitting that bell icon and making sure it has all so you can get notified on live streams, posts, and everything so you guys can get informed on the latest information. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. But I want to give a quick shout out to David Schlotthauer, guys. He's an absolute awesome meteorologist on YouTube here. So if you have not already subscribed to him, I would recommend subscribing to him. He's trying to get to 50,000 subscribers very soon. So if you are not already subscribed, I would really recommend it. He does live streams, of course, on severe weather up to possibly over 12 hour long. And he as well has a very detailed forecast that you see getting over possibly 20 minutes here. So he's very descriptive, just like me. He has some pretty nice thumbnails. He's very smart as well. He's been studying weather for years and years and years, and I would recommend subscribing to him. He's helped me out in the past, and I want to help him out as well. The link will be in the description and as well in the comments below. So if you guys want to subscribe, I would recommend doing so. But let's go ahead and get into the actual video. So here's a look here, the two temperature anomaly here, looking at Fahrenheit. So this is what we're looking at in the next 2 hours. So we're going to be seeing a very significant and as well pretty large Arctic blast. It's going to be the reason why this whole nor'easter is going to be possible. And as well, we're really watching out for some really cold air to go as far as portions as the deep south and the deep southeast, including Florida. But as we get later into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing this rush of Arctic air across portions of the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. Going to get as far as possibly 25 degrees below average here, specifically in the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia, North Carolina, and West Virginia. So that's kind of why we have a lot of widespread, at least freeze watches, hard freeze warnings, and frost advisories across much of the eastern United States here as a result of below freezing temperatures going as far as the Dixie Alley, which just got an outbreak literally a week ago, and now we're seeing winter temperatures here, and that's going to continue throughout tomorrow into as far as getting into the into a Friday, even the Saturday time from the weekend. We're still going to be seeing some pretty cold temperatures, but only really getting anything below 10 degrees below average. That's going to be into Friday, but we're going to get really cold within the next 24 hours or so. Going to get possibly almost 30 degrees below average, and it's going to be very widespread across the deep south, but as well specifically across portions of the northeast here. And as that moisture comes in from that low pressure going up the east coast and that cold air coming from the west, we're going to be seeing a perfect mixture to create a significant cold front and significant nor'easter with some significant snowfall. So like I mentioned earlier, we do have a pretty widespread area of, in the dark blue, we have actually a freeze warnings here, and that's going to be across portions of the Ohio Valley going as far as the southern plains in the dark blue, almost purple color. And this light blue color, we also have a few freeze watches here, and that's going to go across the Carolinas into the Dixie Alley region. So we're going to be seeing some well below freezing temperatures across portions of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and specifically Tennessee, as that's exactly where we have the hard freeze warnings here. That's where we can possibly expect well below freezing temperatures getting in as far as the low 20s. So we're talking frigid temperatures here, and it's kind of weird that we have severe weather warning or severe thunderstorm warnings to the south as we have freeze watches not too far from the north. And we already have a few winter weather alerts here across portions of the upper northeast, including the Adirondacks in upstate New York, where we have a few windstorm warnings, and that's exactly what we can expect. Over a foot of snow with advisories across from Vermont all the way down into northeastern Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at the real-time temperature though to see exactly how cold it's going to be and how different that will be compared to today's weather. So today is going to be really nice. We're going to be seeing some 70s, almost nearly 8 degrees across the Delmarva Peninsula, and it's going to be a very warm and nice, humid eastern portion of the Northeast. So kind of the coastal region, including tri-state area all the way to Boston, even to the 60s as far north as Nova Scotia. But as soon as we get to tomorrow, April Fool's, I guess, comes, and I guess Mother Nature just wants to fool the Northeast for April Fool's, and temperatures are going to dramatically drop. I mean, as we go throughout the evening tomorrow or afternoon, temperatures will drop instead of increase here. And rapidly, we're going to start seeing below freezing temperatures here across off the Great Lakes there, 29 degrees, 30 degrees, and rapidly those 70s convert to 40s just within a few hours. And then we're going to get up to possibly some 40s within the next 24 hours. So we're going to be seeing possibly a 30-degree difference between some areas in the Northeast within 24 hours from now. So we're going to be seeing widespread below freezing temperatures. And that's going to allow for the beginning of that snowstorm to develop across the Great Lakes and portions of those higher elevations in Pennsylvania and New York, and even portions of Vermont as well. But now getting later into the second now, this is now getting into, I believe, Friday morning. Temperatures continue to get a lot colder, now getting widespread 20s there across not just those higher elevations in the Great Lakes, but starting to get below freezing temperatures off into the coastal areas, including New England coast, as well below freezing temperatures, like I did say, as far south as the deep portion of the Dixie Island. These temperatures will get even more frigid here, now getting possibly even to the single digits across portions of the upper portion of Mount Washington, as well the Adirondacks. Very well get nearly single digits. But look at that, New York now, much of the coast will get well below freezing temperatures. So it's really weird to think that we're seeing 70s and 60s across the region today, and then just within tomorrow or Friday morning, we're going to be seeing well below freezing temperatures. The whole Northeast will be below freezing, basically. Even the deep coast like Cape Cod and Delmarva Peninsula. So I don't know why I could not get that word out. And then, of course, it'll warm up, but the highs won't even get above freezing for some regions, specifically across the New England region, which mainly the states will be New Hampshire and Vermont that have the coldest temperatures. And then later getting into the Saturday, so into the weekend now, we're still going to be seeing well below freezing temperature, but Friday is definitely going to be the coldest day, where we may see possibly even single digits across the higher elevations. How is it all going to affect the snow? Well, right now, throughout today, we're going to be mainly seeing that rain because, like I did say, we're going to see some 70s and 60s and even 50s across the Northeast. Our coldest temperature today will really be across Lake Erie and Huron with only 40s, so it's not that cold. But as we get later into tonight, we'll see some spotty snow showers developing across those very high elevations, including West Virginia there and southwestern Pennsylvania. But when I get later on into now tomorrow, things dramatically change into the afternoon hours. Very widespread snow across this region here, across Pennsylvania, New York, and as well as far as the mid-Atlantic, including Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. So we're going to be seeing some really big-time snow across areas such as State College, including areas near Harrisburg. Harrisburg might get some good snow. Scranton may get some really good snowfall. And as well, areas like Central and Northern New York will get really pounded by the snow, including Syracuse, Utica, Ithaca. Again, some nice snow across Watertown and, of course, in upstate New York. And that'll continue to get a lot more widespread. And the GFS is starting to hit some snow, possibly as far south as Philadelphia. But we may actually see some really dangerous conditions across the upper Northeast and upper New England, as we may see extreme amount of snowfall per hour here. Look at that very strong low pressure. Getting into triple digits now, 999 millibars. So it's going to be really strong, allowing for a heavier precipitation rate. So we're going to be seeing some really heavy snow across areas including New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and as well portions of western Maine. So we may see in those areas that I just mentioned possibly over a foot as a result of that heavy snow. And as this low pressure moves into Canada, as it continues to strengthen, as we get later to tomorrow evening, that snow will continue as a result of that very cold air as that leftover precipitation stays for a little bit, and we may see a little like of a snow. But we can't rule out the possibility for some flooding here, specifically across New England. That's kind of where we may see our heaviest rain because of that low pressure not only being closer, but it'll be at its strongest in these areas, and that's going to allow for some really heavy rain, a lot heavier than what we'll be seeing in the mid-Atlantic right now to later this evening. Let's go ahead and look at the snowfall totals for the for the GFS, and we're going to be seeing some really nice snow totals all the way up to Maine from as far east as West Virginia. So we're going to be seeing some scatter areas here, or start seeing our snow showers very soon to West Virginia, getting as high as over half a foot of snowfall. And then we're starting to see that snow gradually becoming more widespread as a result of that increasing of cold air. Like I did say, these areas where we had these warnings is where you can possibly see over a foot of snow, such as the Adirondacks, scatter areas of over a foot, and specifically upstate Vermont, upstate New Hampshire, and far western Maine may get over a foot, and even the northwestern tip of Maine may even reach as far as over 19 inches of snowfall. Areas such as Syracuse, you guys may get 1 to 4 inches of snow, and areas near Binghamton, upstate Pennsylvania, the Poconos, you guys may see well over 4 to 6 inches of snowfall. So getting some really nice snow across south central New York. Areas like Utica, Ithaca may get over 4 to 5 inches of snowfall, and then areas off the Lake Erie and Lake Huron may see a lot less snow than what expected, maybe getting only an inch or so, maybe max 2 inches near Erie, Pennsylvania, maybe half an inch of snow across areas such as Harrisburg, Philadelphia, sorry, not Philadelphia, I meant to say Pittsburgh, and we may even get some snow just north of Washington, D.C. areas in far western Maryland may actually get anywhere from an inch to possibly even 4 inches, and the scattered snow resulting as far as Friday as a result of that very, very cold air and leftover precipitation. We may see a trace of snow across portions of New England, including Massachusetts, and across Connecticut. So kind of more the coastal areas like Boston may get some snow. So obviously New England, upstate New England is going to get hammered by the snowstorm nor'easter, but it's going to be a completely different story for portions of it's going to be completely different story for portions off in the coast here. Now looking at the HRR 3 kilometer, we're going to be looking at the snowfall here as well. So it's a lot more detailed than the main GFS model. So as we get the next few hours, of course, the HRR only goes 18 hours out. So it's going to be kind of right at the beginning of the snowstorm. But after getting the next few hours or so, by this evening here, that rain will get continuously harder across portions of the coastal New Jersey and Delaware. And as that low pressure now moves in the area, that rain will become a lot more widespread as far as New England and as far south as the mid-Atlantic. And that snow will start to develop here by the next 12 hours or so across portions of Pennsylvania and as well upstate New York with some showers into West Virginia. And that will gradually get more significant as we go towards the next 17 hours or so. Really significant snow across Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and as well New York, with possibly some snow showers likely as far south as Philadelphia. So that's going to be a very interesting scenario there. So it's going to be a very quick moving storm, very quick moving low pressure as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer as well. Getting to the next 12 hours or so, there you see those snow showers developing as far as western Pennsylvania and northern West Virginia, with really heavy downpours across much of the Northeast within now to the next 12 hours. After the next 12 hours, a lot of that rain will start to convert to snow, specifically, of course, in the northern portion of the Northeast and northern New England, such as Maine there. So it's going to be it's going to be very limited as a result of the very warm temperatures taking a while to actually get below freezing. So by the time these temperatures get below freezing on the coastal Northeast, it'll be too late. That's going to be way up in the higher elevations near Mount Washington, etc. So really, it's going to be very limited. Of course, at this point, it'll be April when the storm occurs. So it's going to be a lot hard to get those big time storms like we saw in December and January. Of going all the way into the coastal areas. But according to the NAM 3 kilometer, there could be some snow showers possibly as far as Philadelphia, New York, and as well New York City. But I doubt that I doubt that'll happen. But I would not rule the possibility if some flurries happen. But I don't think it'll be that significant, like the NAM is showing. But yeah, it'll later move out by later this tomorrow evening here. But even the NAM is hinting what the GFS was saying, and possibly some snow showers as far south as Cape Cod, Massachusetts there, including Boston. So that would be a very interesting scenario. Let's go ahead and look at the snowfall totals as well for the European, which I did not show for the MSLP, but I'm going to show the snowfall totals compared to the GFS. And there's a pretty big difference, including New York, pretty big differences between these areas as well, up to a 10+ inch difference for some areas. And similar totals across areas like the coastal areas off Lake Erie. You may get maybe 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches possibly. But a pretty big difference when it comes to these areas. Definitely going to get a big difference here. Like upstate Vermont may only get 3 inches when the GFS was hinting over a foot. And a pretty big difference compared to the central and northern New York portion as well. A pretty big difference, including the Adirondacks only getting 3 to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches, when the GFS is showing well over 9+ inches. But we're still looking at a pretty good snowfall across Utica and central and upstate New York, anywhere from 1 to possibly 5 inches of snowfall across that region, and very similar totals across upstate New Hampshire and far western Maine, getting possibly over a foot in the region. And then let's look at the NAM 3 kilometer and what they're predicting. Like I said, they're going to get some snow as far south as New York City, but the NAM isn't always the most trusted when it comes to snowstorms, here. They're kind of meant for severe weather, but getting some nice snow, possibly as far as New York City, a trace or so. And also big difference, getting less than an inch across much of New York. So again, like the NAM isn't the most trustworthy. I think I would look at the HRRR more. And I see European and GFS, I think anything between that could very well happen, but really big time snow. According to the NAM model, getting over a foot across scattered areas across West Virginia. But even a pretty big difference compared to northwestern Maine, only getting around half foot or so, which is pretty, I think, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we can very well go over a foot of snow. And here's a look at the HRRR, but consider that the HRRR only goes 18 hours out, and this storm's going to last more than 18 hours. So within the next 18 hours, they still have some pretty good snow, getting up to possibly 3 to 5 inches across northeastern Pennsylvania, and as well as south central, and as well even upstate New York across the Adirondacks. So we're kind of seeing a trend here, like Binghamton, I believe, right here. You got Ithaca, Utica. I think maybe I switched those up. Obviously, you got Albany, may get very little snow, but it is still keep a close eye on that, and as well as some pretty good snow in those higher elevations there near West Virginia, Maryland, and near Greencastle as well. And again, that snow across the higher elevations in the New Hampshire and Maine region. And last but not least, we're going to be stressing the idea for some rain getting as high as possibly 5 inches of rain here, and that would be most likely to occur obviously off the Atlantic. So right here, basically, we're seeing that 5 inches. But across the mid-Atlantic, we're seeing some really nice amounts of rain, getting over 3 inches across coastal Long Island there, portions of northern and central Delaware, and as well as south central New Jersey. So kind of really watching mid-Atlantic for the next few hours here. So Richmond, D.C., Baltimore, Delmarva Peninsula in general, Atlantic City, Dover, and Wilmington, or actually more like Dover, Long Island, into southern Connecticut. We will kind of see the big time flooding threats, and then we're going to be seeing some significant rain as well, up to 1 to 3 inches across Maine, or at least coastal Maine. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, be sure to subscribe to David Schlotthauer, and as well subscribe to my channel. But I will see you guys later.